Hey, true believers, Englentine here. So everybody's back from vacation, back to their local comic shops, and everything is back to normal. As Batman rules the roost, this week's top 10 comic books sold to customers, not just to stores, not the Comic-Con countdown, but this is what actual readers are really buying. This is based on the Bleeding Cool list, so take it with a grain of salt if you need to. Also, we make a visit to Comixology to find out the top 20 to see who's winning between DC and Marvel Comics and find out what independents have made a splash. Hint, this one did. So, without further ado, let's get this top 10 started. At number 10, we have Star Wars number 41. At number 9, Brian K. Vaughan's Paper Girls number 19. Captain America 697 takes the 8th spot. In 7th place, Phoenix Resurrection number 2. Batman the Signal takes the 6th spot. At number 5, we have Justice League number 36. Superman number 38 takes the 4th spot. The Walking Dead 175 gets to number 3. The runner-up at number 2, Batman White Knight number 4, which means the number 1 book of the week is Batman number 38. Batman just rules the roost this week. A quick shout out to the comic store owners that participate in this list, and then we'll get to my personal favorite part, what they have to say about the week. Batman took 6 of the 10 spots at FFF this week. Batman proper was our number 1 seller, followed closely by Batman White Knight. Baby Teeth and Walking Dead made it to 3 and 4. Phoenix Resurrection was the only Marvel book in the top 10 at number 9. Doomsday Clock is still selling well on its second week and made it to number 8. The X-Men had a pretty good showing in the top 20, with Astonishing X-Men, Iceman, Gambit and Rogue, and X-Men Gold all selling okay enough. Star Wars is also selling consistently. It doesn't have great numbers, but it's also not losing any readers. Paper Girls is in a similar boat where it has readers, but it isn't gaining or losing any. I'm glad to hear that X-Men makes anybody's top list. Yeah, it's time to get their due after being buried for so long. But when I hear that Iceman made somebody's top 10, that or even just top 20 would be surprising. If it's a case of, well, we heard the title was getting canceled and now there's a push to try to save it, that would make sense. DC are the ones who are selling off the shelves. Marvel may have the market share by selling their books to shops, but those books aren't the ones leaving the shelves. There will always be a few Marvel books that will sell, Spider-Man, X-Men, and now Star Wars, but everything else gets pushed to the side only to be relaunched 6 months later. This was the strongest week of sales we've had since maybe September. It was my favorite kind of week with a lot of high-tier books and not much junk. Ed Piskor's X-Men Grand Design is, by a pretty large margin, the best-selling Marvel book we've had in a year, although the 1-2 punch of Batman and White Knight, still dominated. People are responding positively to Wade and Sam Nee's Captain America run as well. Turns out all Marvel needs to do is make good comics and people show up. Pleasant surprise of the week, Extremity clings to the top 10. That is staying power. Write good stories, make good comics, and people will respond. Holy Toledo, that sounds like what all those Nazi people were saying over at Comicsgate. I can't believe anybody's backing that up. We start the new year much like we spent the last year, in Bruce Wayne's world. Batman number 38, Batman White Knight number 4, and Batman and the Signal number 1 took the gold, the silver, and the bronze on our list this week. Close on the Dark Knight's heels. The Big Blue Boy Scout and Ed Piskor's Mutant Retrospective round out the top half of our list with Superman 38 and Grand Design number 2. Kind of a light week for us. Both the weather, rain, and the month January really is the Monday of the year. We're working against us, but Paper Girls, Batman White Knight, and X-Men Grand Design, our top 3 bestsellers in that order, still managed to sell pretty well. Also worth noting that Saga Volume 8 would have made our best list again if it were included. With the sudden closure of another store, our sales spiked. Since it was so sudden, we sold out of a lot of material quickly since, come on, Bleeding Cool, since, S-I-N, it's not, alright, anyway. Since we didn't know, Batman was our top seller and sold out on Wednesday. Captain America also sold out quickly and was our biggest selling Marvel title. Marvel got 3 titles in our top 10. Image got Walking Dead in, while the rest went to DC. Sorry, gang, but it really does get frustrating sometimes when I'm reading this and I find mistakes like that. It's very simple, sense and sense. Not that hard to do if you know the language, and considering it's run by a British guy, they were there first. You would think they would know, except for they spell color wrong. Terrible week for sales. Bad sales on Wednesday and worse on Thursday. DC wins the week easily with the top 5 of the top 10 and 3 of the top 5. Batman sales have leveled out at a level that makes it our best seller every time it's released. White Knight sales have increased every issue. Image had a strong week. Walking Dead came in at number 3, outselling all Marvel titles. And Paper Girls at number 7, outselling all Marvel titles without Star or Wars in the name. Secret Empire soured Captain America readers so much that even Wade and Sam Nee on the title isn't bringing people back. A more representative sales chart this week with 6 DC titles, 2 Image, and 2 Marvel. Captain America seems to have retained more newcomer readers than any other Marvel Legacy relaunch, which says a lot about the staying power of iconic characters and strong storytelling. Various Bat books took up the top 3 slots this week, which seems to be par for the course these days. And that's the top 10 floppies sold from stores to customers. You know, I always like finding out how regional sales differ. Like Captain America may sell low one place, sell high another, and then you've got FFF pushing baby teeth every week. You know, it's all different. And I think that's kind of cool. Now, let's go on over and see what the digital sales look like over at Comixology. I have to admit, I root for the underdog. Marvel has finally broke their record of 8. I think it was last week, and they had 9 in the countdown. I'm wanting to see a tie. I really want DC to be the winner, but I want them to win over a strong Marvel. Or a shock and surprise of Alterna Comics winning everything. That would be cool too. Number 10 is Paper Girls number 19. Number 9 goes to Phoenix Resurrection number 2. 8 goes to Injustice 2 chapter 39. Number 7 belongs to Batman and the Signal number 1. Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars number 41 is at number 6. Justice League number 36 takes the 5 spot. Batman White Knight number 4 goes to number 4. Superman number 38 takes the 3 spot. The digital runner-up to the number 1 spot in position number 2 is Batman number 38. And the number 1 digitally sold comic book for the week of 1/3/18 is The Walking Dead number 175. People like that New World Order. They have to find out what it means. Heck, the last time they heard New World Order, it came out of Nightwing, and it turned out to be pretty darn good. So there you go. That's this week's digital top 10. 2 independents, 2 Marvel, and 6 DC. That's the score so far, but I like to find out how it's doing in the top 20, so let's get down to that business. At number 11, we have Astonishing X-Men. Number 12 is Nightwing number 36. Spider-Man number 236 picks up the 13 spot. Astonishing X-Men number 7 goes to 14. The 15 spot is taken by Captain America 697. 16 belongs to the Rat Queens. Green Lantern's number 38 makes it to 17. And at 18 we have X-Men Grand Design number 2. Rogue and Gambit number 1 makes it at number 19. And finally Green Arrow number 36 closes out the top 20 digital comic book sales. And the final tally, we have 3 independent comic books, we have 8 Marvel comics, and 9 DC. Most of which were in the top 10. That's the important part. I mean, if you stretch it out far enough, Marvel actually overtakes DC, but DC is just selling the numbers. I mean, they've got the books that people want. And at the end of the day, that is what it's really about. But that's just my opinion. What's yours? What was a surprise to you? Like Iceman, somebody mentioning Iceman in a top 10 anything other than the words bad and comics dealing with it. That kind of surprised me. But what surprised you? What would you like to see on the top 10? What are you surprised that made it? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, you know the drill. Click like, click share, click subscribe if you haven't done that already. And hit that notification bell so you get told when things are happening around here, because cool things sometimes do happen. Also, this is the way we make our living, so if you don't mind heading on over to Patreon, drop $1 in the till. Links in the description below. Help us keep making videos, help us keep the lights on. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.
I know you're gonna dig this. Dig this. Dig this.